Guys, we may be witnessing the beginning of a major change in the stablecoin world. This could be the start of a big shakeup and political drama between major crypto players and regulators. It's the start of a stablecoin war. Recently, Paxos, the issuer of BUSD, Binance USD stablecoin, received a love letter from the SEC. This love letter was actually a notice of SEC's plan to sue Paxos over its BUSD product. If SEC follows through and wins this case, it could have an impact on the price of crypto and the use of stablecoins. It may also affect investors outside the US. I'm Sylvester, and this is Crypto Ice Cream Channel. Let's have our ice cream. So, why do I say that this SEC action is the beginning of something big for crypto? It's because this could change the habits of the entire global crypto community. The power map of stablecoins will also likely change. BUSD, which is currently ranked third, may decrease in popularity and be used less by users. Why? Well, if the SEC lawsuit is successful, Paxos may stop producing BUSD, and Binance may have to find another vendor to produce their stablecoins. It's likely that the vendor will be from outside the US, as Binance may face similar roadblocks if they choose a vendor inside the US again. Are there any vendors outside the US that have similar access and legal legitimacy than Paxos? Probably not. Therefore, some crypto users may switch from BUSD to other stablecoins. Now, the basic questions is why does the SEC want to sue BUSD? Is it the SEC's jurisdiction over assets and securities? BUSD is more like a currency, right? Whose value is pegged to the US dollar. And it doesn't promise any investment profits like other crypto coins. Well, the answer is unclear because this is just a rumor from inside sources, not official news. So, on February 12th, 2 days ago, the Wall Street Journal reported that Paxos had received a Wells notice from the SEC. Well, a Wells notice is usually given by US legal institutions to companies they plan to sue. This letter was given earlier than the planned legal charges, about 30 days earlier, so that the company can have the right to respond and explain why they think the legal charges against them would not be appropriate. Well, ideally, after receiving the Wells notice, companies can provide an explanation and evidence that they are not guilty to the SEC. And if the SEC concurs, the planned legal charges will be canceled outside of court. So for the next month, Paxos will have time to resolve the legal charges behind closed doors with SEC without going to the court. The Wells notice is not something that should be announced to the public. So this information happened to be leaked. Most likely, in the next month, we will not hear an unofficial announcement from the SEC or Paxos about this. We will only know directly from the official legal charges if it happens. And according to Gary Gensler's statement, this step is part of the SEC's big effort to secure crypto investors so that other crypto companies voluntarily comes to the SEC and request regulation.
All we're saying to this non-compliant, generally largely non-compliant industry is come in and properly follow the law, disaggregate, segregate the customer funds, and protect the customer funds, which is what broker dealers under the law need to do. The exchanges,
Right.
register as an exchange and disaggregate those hedge fund opportunities that you're
Right.
taking in market making.
Is this true? That most crypto companies are anti government and anti SEC regulations? Well, yes, there are indeed many shady or scam crypto projects that avoid the SEC. But the story is actually different if we look at big American players like Paxos, Circle, Coinbase, Kraken, and Gemini. They are actually proactive in asking for guidance from the SEC before launching a new product. to ensure that they comply with regulations. Well, this is an example of Coinbase in 2021 that made headlines back then. At that time, it was reported that Coinbase received a Wells notice from the SEC, the same letter that is received by Paxos now. So the letter asked Coinbase to stop its lending program that they were going to launch, which is a feature that allows users to lend their coins to other users within the Coinbase app. The reason this news was so popular and made to the big headlines was because Coinbase's CEO Brian Armstrong revealed on Twitter that Coinbase had been proactively consulting with the SEC for the past 6 months back at that time about the land program, but then suddenly received a Wells notice when they were about to launch it. So the SEC's track record in 2021 was very different from what they said yesterday. By the way, the boss is still the same, Gary Gensler. And there's another issue with the SEC's track record that makes some people in crypto community doubt Gary's statement, which is SEC's action in the case of SBF FTX. At that time, SEC was very slow to regulate SBF and their friends. Even a few weeks after FTX had collapsed, SEC still hadn't taken any action. Many associate this with Gary's close relationship with SBF's family and political donations, but that's just a conspiracy theory. However, we as outsiders can clearly see that the SEC was late to the party in the FTX case. Unlike with BUSD, which happens to be owned by Binance, FTX's biggest rival. The SEC's action was very quick, even before anything happened with BUSD. Well, there's nothing happening with BUSD right after the SEC's Wells notice. Well, in conclusion, first, there's no official news about SEC's Wells notice to Paxos, but based on the developments so far, it seems accurate because Paxos and SEC have not confirmed nor denied it. Second, SEC is starting to be aggressive towards the crypto industry. Yesterday it's Kraken, now it's Paxos. Well, is their goal solely to protect investors' funds, as Gary said? Maybe. No one knows a person's true intentions. But, well, looking at SEC's track record and Coinbase in 2021 case, and also FTX, maybe there's another motive behind protecting investors' safety. Well, what could the motive be? Well, in my opinion, if there's one, it is to maintain the status quo, the power currently held by the financial system in America, to uphold SEC's power, the power of Wall Street, the power of legacy finance institutions such as BlackRock, JP Morgan, and so on. And by the way, talking about maintaining BlackRock's power, there are two indicators that we can look at the next few months that could strengthen or maybe break this hypothesis. Well, SEC also sue Circle, the company that makes USDC. And will SEC also sue Coinbase over their staking program? Why could this strengthen or break my hypothesis? Because BlackRock is one of the investors in Circle, the company that makes USDC. And BlackRock has also formed a strategic partnership with Coinbase to offer crypto assets to their clients last year, 2022. Well, 1 year after SEC's Wells notice to Coinbase. So these two products, USDC and Coinbase's staking feature, are very similar to BUSD Paxos and Kraken's staking feature. The only difference is the people behind them. Well, third, what is the impact of this stablecoin war on us? Most likely, our stablecoin options may become more limited. If BUSD fades away, we will only have USDT, whose track record is somewhat questionable, and USDC, which is controlled by the American government. And it is highly possible that SEC's attack will not stop at BUSD and will move on to USDT. The fourth, will this cause a price drop of crypto? Well, if we look at it from a supply demand perspective, I don't think it will create a significant increase of supply in the market. There won't be a large influx of BUSD that will be redeemed to Paxos. And it shouldn't be a problem because every BUSD in circulation in the market is backed by one USD in reserve. In theory, that's how it's supposed to work. Well, even if Paxos fights SEC, the legal process will take years, just like with XRP. But the difference with BUSD is that it's a stable coin, so the price remains relatively stable. Personally, I'm still holding BUSD and I'm not worried. And will this put pressure on the price of Bitcoin and its peers? Well, I don't think so. But it all depends on the market's emotion. Currently, the market is paying close attention to SEC's aggression towards crypto. So I'm guessing that both whales and also market makers are currently on high alert. Well, it's important to stay updated on the latest crypto news. You can join Crypto Ice Cream community for free, where many members share the latest news about the market condition, crypto market conditions. And that's my opinion. What do you think? See you on our next ice cream.